From surgically modified bodies to becoming a millionaire in a day business, do we even know what's real anymore? Every day we are faced with the next best thing when we're just trying to become healthier, wealthier, and happy. What the fuck is real? What the fuck is true? What the fuck are you supposed to believe about yourself and your success while trying to build something that actually lasts? Welcome to What the Fuck is Beauty Anyway, the podcast. I am your host, Jen Carrasco, founder of Raga Studio, a fitness champion, IFBB pro figure competitor, a skincare line creator, and a serial entrepreneur. Well, and I'm an overall business coach. After years of building businesses from the ground up, I am here to help you with society standards and, well, to use your beauty within to build something that is truly you and truly impactful. So now let's dive in. Hey guys, it is Jen Carrasco here with Own Your Own Shit. And before we get started with our badass that we have today for you, I want to please say like, review, share this shit with everybody. Everybody needs to hear this. All these women that I have had on my show are just extremely badasses, owning their field in business, owning who they are, as we say, owning your shit, right? So my girl, who is also a family member and Apex, I want her to introduce herself and explain what she does that makes her so awesome and makes her a badass in her field.
So my name is Jill Underwood, and I am in the mortgage business. I'm a mortgage loan officer. I've been out on the front lines working directly with the clients who are buying houses and refinancing. And I've done this for almost 40 solid years. I got in the business in 1981. So I've seen a lot and I've been around a lot. And a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half, someone said, Jill, you should be the mortgage queen. And I was like, nah, I don't know. It's a little cheesy. And then I was like, okay, let's do it. And so I've been branding as the mortgage queen for a while. And it's so interesting how many people have caught on to that. So my business in the last year, 2020 and year to date has really super propelled into a new level. But you know what? I have been owning my own shit and working, and I've been working really hard, and it's so amazing when that happens.
So what is your branding? Are you going to make yourself like the queen? Are you going to have a brand with that? I'm excited.
I do have, I have a caricature that somebody did for me that really kind of took off. And yes, we have the caricature. She's got the crown, and then we put her in different outfits. And I say her because at first for me, this whole branding thing, it was something that I could hide behind. Because unfortunately, sometimes I just get really shy when I shouldn't, but I do. And it's mindset. It's the little bitch voice that says, oh, Jill, you're not worthy. Oh, they don't want to hear from you. When in reality, people love me and they want to hear from me. Right? But I made the mortgage queen, and the brand is a lot of caricature, but we put her in different outfits. She's got a golfing outfit. She's got a birthday outfit so that she can tell people happy birthday. We've got, for every month of the year, she's in a bunny costume in March. Okay, like an Easter bunny costume. Oh, okay, it's not a Playboy bunny costume. Let's just own that. But, and Christmas, she's, wearing a Santa hat. So I've got her in a lot of different outfits. So every month when I do my marketing, which I still do snail mail. I have this magazine that I snail mail about a real estate agent, but still queen like.
Yeah.
But yes, I do have a crown and I do have the golden wand. And we made a commercial last year that was really super, super fun. And so she's wearing, I was wearing the big dress, and that's couple, they want to buy a new house and they're in this old dingy apartment and they're like, we want a new house. And then I show up and go, pow, and magically they're in a gorgeous house. It's kind of cute.
I like that. That's cute. So snail mail actually is phenomenal because people thoroughly actually like to get cards in the mail. And I do that with all my businesses and I get great feedback with it. And I wish more people utilized it because we all like to get a little something in the mail.
We do.
I don't necessarily want to get an email or a text or anything. I'd rather get a handwritten letter sent to me for something. So you have some exciting things coming underway. And I really want you to talk about that because it's almost like I feel like you have transitioned a little bit more. You're kind of owning your shit. You're building yourself up a little bit more. And can you talk about that?
I can talk about that. I will say a lot. All right, don't make me cry. There have been many, many, many years in my life where I was not the real me.
So,
okay, so yes, I do have a lot of very exciting things that I have been working on that I've launched, and a lot of very cool things that have happened that have been just building. And one of them is I just launched a podcast a couple of weeks ago. It's called Little Tweaks, Giant Wins. And that has absolutely taken me so far out of my comfort zone that I have just been wiggling back and forth like crazy, right? It's so new. It's something I've never done before. And it was just been a huge learning curve, but I am committed to the podcast. I am committed to doing it. And it's hard because you put yourself out there to the whole world to see.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, Jill, just be your authentic self. And part of my authentic self is, first of all, I'm kind of a goofball. So sometimes I say goofy things and then I'm like, oh, I crack me up,
But it needs to be
a lot. It does. And a lot of it too is, because the theme of Little Tweaks, Giant Wins is the bad shit that's happened to you and how you dealt with it and how you got past it. And we've all had some super horrid crap going on in our lives. And we got to get rid of those little bitch voices on our shoulders. And I've taken years to recover from some bad things. So it's kind of like having to relive some of that again, but then really reminding myself of how badass I truly am and how strong I truly am and finding oneself again. So it's been it's been a full year and a half now that I've been in the Apex program. Man, that has just been a hell of a journey. And every time I go to Dallas to one of our meetups, when I come home, I obviously come home a different woman because now my man is like, I want to go to Dallas and see what you're doing, because it's like really making me to be just, I think, stronger and deeper into me.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Kevin just joined the executives too to come and tag along with me, which I'm really excited about. But then another part of me is like, but that's like my vacation time.
That's your quiet time alone. Get away from the house, right? And it is, and in a relationship, I think it's good to have time apart. And when you have time apart, that doesn't mean that you got to call and check in every time, right? I dated this guy for a number of years back. And apparently he had this deal with his first wife that whenever he traveled, because he traveled for business a lot, that he had to call her and check in every day. Well, I didn't know that. We never had that conversation in our relationship. And I went on a business trip, and apparently I posted on Facebook. I was in like Fort Lauderdale. So apparently I made a Facebook post about, the lovely ocean view, but I didn't call him and check in and say, hey, hi. but I didn't know I had to. For me, it's like, no, 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 that's my time. That's me, my business conference, my business peeps. That's for me. And he got all pissy with me. And I was like, red flag. No, if I'm on a business trip, let me focus on my business at hand. And I'll talk to you when I get back home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
It makes sense to me, girl.
I agree with you. And I think that it takes a strong man to be with a strong female. And,
Absolutely.
this is totally off subject of you because this whole thing's about you. But in my past relationship, which I'm sure many of women and maybe even you have dealt with it, is that I'm strong-willed and I I want to do things in life and I want to achieve things in life, right? And it's not me acquiring that the fact is that I want to leave you when I acquire that. But if you're going to get self-conscious about yourself and insecure, that's not my freaking issue.
Right.
That's yours. If you feel that way, then it's not going to work out. And the thing is that when I finally realized that within myself, like, these are the things that I want in a partner in a relationship. That perfect person showed up. And you know what? Even though I do things and I travel and he doesn't come with me, he's still my alpha male. Like he's
Right.
still, I don't believe, and maybe feminist women are going to come after me, but I do not believe that I want to be on the same level as my significant other. I want a man role in my relationship. I want to be dominated, right? I want that. I want to know somebody's going to take care of me. And if I feel like
Absolutely.
I'm taking care of you, it is an absolute turnoff.
I agree. I call it courted. I still like
Yeah.
being courted.
Amen. Yeah.
I like it when because Craig will I'll come home from a trip and he'll have, a little, vase of flowers on the counter for me. I like to be driven around. I like to go on a date. I like to just do those courting kind of things. And for me, it's like, I don't care how long you've been together, that still has to happen all the time. And when that stops and then suddenly you're taken for granted, yeah, that's a red flag for me. I'm out.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree. But then I do agree as a woman in a role, we have a place in the relationship as well to be the feminine. And I think that's really lost in today's age. And, you can call me old fashioned or whatever you want, but you see a strong woman like you and a strong woman like me, like we're leaders, we're doing things, we're getting shit done. But I still want to be a female in the relationship.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. I still want that submission role. Like that's just who I am. But anyway. Enough.
I love it. But and you're right. That does take a certain man, and that certain man that can do that is somebody that's confident in his own self.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
If that man doesn't have that confidence in himself, then he's certainly not going to have confidence in me that when I do travel out of town, that I'm not like, gallivanting around town with other men, which, hell no, don't even want to, because my man's at home waiting for me to come back. Yeah. So it strengthens your bond. I think when everybody knows when to be masculine and feminine.
Yeah. So let's turn it back and let's talk a little bit about Jill. So I want to know what is in the forefront of what's coming out for you. I mean, I know you have your podcast. You're pretty much owning your shit. You're building. I mean, we have worked together. I mean, I know that you're building on things like, your mental attitude. I know you're talking about writing things on your mirror. Like, what is Jill going forward with?
My number one thing right now is working on my leadership and influence skills. And that's the most recent thing that I wrote on my mirror is you are a great leader and influencer. I've struggled for many years with building a team so that I can double or triple my volume, keep increasing my volume every year in my mortgage business. So I decided that the only way that I'm going to get to where I want to be is to be able to lead my team better.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been working on that. I've been reading books about that and putting that in my brain and out to the universe. And I will say, we just recently had a situation where I had last month in May, I had a record month with the company that I'm currently with. It's the biggest month I've had since I've been there in the last 3 years. And they always do this. Oh, you had a record month. For me, okay, that's great. But I gave the kudos to my team, man. Without those girls, I would not have had those numbers. And so when everybody posted that on LinkedIn and Facebook, it's like, none of this is about me. The hard work was the girls in the back who made sure everything ran smooth. It's one thing for me because I'm the hunter gatherer, right? I got to go out on the front lines and hunt it down and kill it and drag it in.
Yeah.
But I need the team to cook it up, season it up, close it and clean up the kitchen after.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And without those and all of them, there's a whole team of them, not just my 2 assistants that help me, but I've got a whole team of underwriters and closers and post closers and title company closers, all those people. I couldn't do any of it without them.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what I learned in leadership is when things go right, all the credit goes to them. And when things go wrong, the buck stops right here. I take full responsibility. So that I've been working on that a lot. That's really my big rock next. And then my next big rock is going to be writing my books, which I do have a meeting on Monday with a potential editor. Now, my books are different than a lot of the other Apex members. They're doing a lot of their story and their nonfiction. Mm-hmm. My stories are fiction. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how it all plays out. But that's my next big thing. Yeah. Sometimes the day job gets in the way.
I agree. So I want to ask you a couple questions because I really want our audience to get a lot out of this. First off, have you read the book 5 Dysfunctions of a Team?
I have, but I need to reread it. It's been a long time. I have it. It's at my office. So I will absolutely browse through that one again.
Yeah, that's a great book. And then also Traction, which I'm sure you've probably already read.
I have not read Traction.
You have to read Traction.
I need to do that.
If you're building a team, you need to read Traction. And then when you get to a point to where you're like, okay, I'm ready, we'll sit down and I can help you actually build out your plan and your structure. So we have an EOS coach. That's what we use in our companies.
Okay.
Because the leadership team, of course, trickles down and anyway, goes through all of that. But how do you build a successful team and keep them engaged and excited to work every month with you?
I'm going to go with relationship. There has to be a good relationship where I know what their goals are. There has to be good communication from me to them so that they understand what I expect of them. There has to be trust where they trust me to bring in the work so that they have job stability.
Yeah.
And I have to trust them to get the job done.
Yep. I was listening to, I think it was the MDM that we went to, and gosh, I can't remember who it was that was speaking, but anyway, what she said I thought was really, really cool is she does in her Google Forms, right? She creates little things and she'll say, do you know who it is that I'm talking about? I can't think of her name.
Is it Jessie Lee?
Yeah, thank you. It's Jessie Lee.
She's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, she's incredible. And she will post on there, or she'll make a Google form. And in the Google form, it will say, like, what's your shoe size? What's your favorite clothing store? What's your favorite makeup? What is your favorite grocery store? Where do you guys go out at night? Blah, blah, blah. Like all these 50 million random ass questions, right? But what's so cool is then when that team member is doing great, she rewards them with buying them something off of what they like. And I thought, you know what?
It's brilliant.
I'm going to freaking implement that into my companies because that is awesome. Yeah.
I used to do something similar a long time ago, and I don't know why I'm not doing it right now.
Yeah.
Probably because I don't see people in person anymore.
Yeah.
But I used to have a form that when a client came into my office, they filled out a little form. It's kind of like you go to the doctor's office and you have to fill out a form while you wait.
Yeah.
And it was, just a quick little form of, yes, what's your favorite sports team, your favorite beverage, do you have dogs or cats?
Yeah.
And it's just the getting to know you form.
Yeah.
So that's a brilliant idea. And I totally need to have my team fill
Yeah.
that out. Yeah.
She does it, I think, within the onboarding. That's when she does it.
That's brilliant. We should totally do that. I'm going to do that. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. It's a great thing. Well, I know that people, their span of listening to something lasts maybe 20 because
But even us, no, we're so compelling to listen to.
So I want to give the viewers and the listeners everything possible about you and what you offer. So give us a rundown of who you are, what you do, how you can help people, and, just a rundown of you, hun.
I will share my quick little backstory with you. When I was growing up, I had 5 older brothers and sisters. We had a lot of people in the house. And once my brothers and sisters all grew up and moved away, I was left and I got a lot of one-on-one time with my mother, who was a real estate agent at the time. She was a very successful real estate agent. So when I was 13 and 14 years old, she would teach me about how to talk to people. And when you rang the doorbell, you always took off your sunglasses so they could see your eyes. She taught me about negotiating and keeping buyers and sellers happy, when you're negotiating with them. She just taught me a lot about people and how to deal with people. And I really listened to a lot of that. And that's really what propelled me to get into my business. I actually thought that I was going to be a real estate agent like my mother. And I actually was licensed broker in Texas for many, many years. At one point, she and I wanted to have our own brokerage company together, but that never happened. It didn't happen because when I was going to college to get my real estate degree, which I am still degreed in real estate, when I was taking my classes and I took the finance class, it just really clicked with me.
Yeah.
Mortgage just spoke to me. And it's a lot of numbers, and I'm really good at math. Still to this day, I do algebraic equations, and it's so cool the way that without her realizing it, she really introduced me into the mortgage business. And so what we ended up was a partnership where we worked together, where she would sell the houses and I would do the financing for the buyers.
Yeah.
And we did that for many, many years and just loved it. We were actually a really good team together. So must be on your end because I don't have a dog.
My dog. Duke, hey.
It happens. So that's a little bit about how I got into the business. All right. So that's how I got into the business. And back then, you didn't just go in as a loan officer. You went in from the ground up. So I started as a receptionist, and then I learned that. Then I became an assistant to the processors, a loan processor, assistant to the loan officers, loan officer. And this gig that I have just really speaks to me because I love helping people make a great decision. There's been many a decade in my business where, shit happened and they let everybody get a loan and you can finance 100% of your house or 125% of your house. And all the people who did those loans are out of the business. And so those of us that did it right, we're still here. So that's my biggest thing is when you work with me to buy your home or refinance your home, I'm going to work with you and what's best for you because I really care about that. And because of that strategy, my clients stay with me forever. I have some clients that have been with me for 20 years. So that's really my biggest thing is to help you make a great decision that's going to work for you and your family.
That's awesome. I just want to say, from the moment that we met and connected, it's just that sisterhood, right? It's that bond, and the fact that, I feel like I have the heart that I really want to help other people, and I see that with you as well. Like you want to do what's best for other people, and that's what this world needs more of. And so I'm thankful to have you, and I'm thankful to have you on my podcast, even though we had so many flipping interruptions today and freezes. Hey, it is what it is. But I want to thank you, hon.
Oh, you're welcome. You're so badass. The first time I saw you speak, you walked in the room and I was like, oh, damn, who's that? She's like badass. You could just tell. So
thank you. Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you're my friend now.
Aww.
Yay.
Yeah. Someone said to me the other day, how do you get confidence? Like, where does confidence come from? Like when you walk in, I think it was Stacy, we were having this conversation on one of our meetings, and Stacy was like, you have the confidence, and, we all do not feel like we are confident, even though we come off as confident. Right. And so I want to tell people we all deal with it, but it's the thing when the women, or even the men, but it's all of our failures that we've had in life, all of our smack down faces in the dirt of rock bottom over and over is what makes us confident. And it's because we don't care if we lose again, because we know how to pick ourselves back up. And we don't care what anybody says, because we've already been there and we've heard everybody's shit of what they think about us. Yep. So I think that's where our confidence comes from.
That was what you just said was a struggle with me for so long, is that I always cared what people thought. And I was just there to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
And once I realized that that's not going to happen, now I'm just like, hey, if you like me, great, love it. And, that's awesome. But if you don't, and if you don't like the words that I say on my podcast, then don't listen. But if you do, then you might learn some words of wisdom, because I will say I have been through a lot and I have seen a lot.
Yeah.
And I've been divorced twice, and I know what that feels like. I've been cheated on, and I have cheated on. So there's a lot that I've learned along the way. And at the time, it's really, really pissy. It just is. And it's like, I have lost every drop of self-esteem and self-confidence, as recent as 12 years ago. And it took me a long time to rebuild it. But once you do that, then you just come out stronger and stronger.
Amen.
I think I'm more badass now than I was. And I was pretty bad. I was badass in my 20s to the point of probably overconfident and probably more bitchy. But now I can be badass without being bitchy.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
It comes with age, I'm sure. Yeah, we all get there. I know. Yeah. But I want to thank you. And before we end this, I really want to encourage everybody to please rate, review, subscribe, check out Jill. I will have all of her handles. Where can they find you?
The easiest place to find me is jillunderwood.com.
Awesome.
As my man says, jillunderwood.com.
There you go. See that tagline. Awesome. And I'll have all of her handles for you guys so you can check her out. And, we want to know when those books are coming and all of the fun stuff. And thank you again.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure to be here. It's my honor to be here with you today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, love. Thanks for tuning in this week. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed this episode, and I hope you're feeling stronger mentally and physically and ready to kick some ass. As we navigate new society norms, business and beauty breakthroughs, make sure to always ask yourself, what the fuck is beauty to me? And know that's all that really matters. If you love this content today, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Follow me and get more info on how to work with me at jencarrasco.com. You can also find me on all of your favorite social media platforms. Now just remember, stay mentally tough.